man.
I think we should bring our newest member in.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay.
I'm going to hit 15 minutes with him, and then we'll come back, close out with the video. We'll get an hour.
No problem.
Bam.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right, so this is our new guy, man. We knew he had the chops. We knew instantly. He right when we were talking about film and comedies and stuff like that, he was just on board and he was like going back and forth, so we knew it. This is Pisani. Pisani, how are you, man?
Hey,
Bam,
Billy.
brother.
How's it going? Set up.
Yeah.
He's just asking you questions while you're sitting.
So tell me about yourself. The chair's empty.
Hey, how's it going there, Billy?
Come on, man.
Hey, thanks
Damn.
for having me on.
Yeah.
All right.
We work together, so we talk about like the craziest shit all day, basically, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's why
it's
we
stream
go
of
back and
consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. And man, like what always hits it off for me, like when I meet somebody, movies are important.
Yeah.
Movies are important.
Yeah.
And when I was going back and forth, I'm like, yeah, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? We were talking about the Big Lebowski. We were, dude, do it. No, do the German. Do the German.
We believe in nothing, Lebowski. Nothing.
Louis doesn't care. He's a nihilist. Sounds exhausting. Oh, it's too funny, man. Right on.
Nobody fucks with a Jesus.
All right, man. Now I heard somebody call you Michael before, but you're Pisani, and
Correct.
And how come? Because you were building that name, right?
Yeah, so legally,
Yes.
my first name is Michael.
Okay.
However, I feel that there's way too many Michaels in the world, so we could do without one more.
Yeah.
So just you can call me Pisani.
Pisani's unique.
It is.
It is. And
It is.
there's a catchy ring to it. There's definitely a catchy ring to it.
There's a little bit of a story too. You know, the idea was that people in Italy were named after the city that they were born in. So that's where we get Florentines and Romans.
Corleone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So people from the town of Pisa were named Pisans, and then the name kind of evolved from that. And that's a neat little story that we get to tell.
And it's you're from the Leaning Tower Pizza place? Or Pisa? That's it, right?
It's not the Leaning Tower of Pizza, but yes.
I did.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
In America, it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. To every idiot kid that grew up in the 90s where we heard it, it was that. And you've seen it? You've been to Italy and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Like, is it really like off balance? Like, does that fucker look like it's about to tumble over?
Yeah.
Is it going to tumble over?
They actually had to do some work to prevent it from tumbling over.
But they kept it like, you know what I mean?
So you got to understand the base of the Leaning Tower is sort of like a marsh.
Yeah.
It's not
So it
stable
sunk
land.
in?
So
Yeah.
after they built it, it kind of sunk in and tilted and just kind of stayed that way ever since.
Dude, could you imagine being, and what was that, like 17th century, something like that? It's an old, right? Could you imagine being in the 17th century and like, you're looking out the window. You're doing. I don't know. I'm holding a big AK-47. I doubt they had those in the 17th century. You're holding like your sword.
It's
and
like
stuff.
a telescope. Maybe,
Yeah,
'cause if
exactly.
You're on the top
right?
there. You're gonna do some.
You know, and you look to the left, and like you see the sky like moving like this, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" You know what I mean?
Oh, if you're on it as
Dude,
it's
that
turning-
thing's terrifying, dude. Could you imagine? Like, literally, dude. I'm sorry, but like the World Trade Center people are the only other ones that know that feeling
of impending doom. Well, onto some lighter fare.
Yeah.
We've been really heavy this whole podcast.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. No, but hold on. You were telling me about the namesake. Let me hear it, man.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, the story I just told was one story. My cousin says that that's not true for our name. However, I do know that because the name ends in I, it's an unusual vowel sound for most Italian names.
Pisani.
Pisani.
Yeah.
So that denotes that somewhere along the line, we were descendants of the Etruscans, which were the original rulers of Tuscany before like the Roman civilization came out.
Love your bread.
Yeah. So they ruled all of Tuscany, and people thought they were really advanced. Well, they were really advanced, but they thought they were aliens because of it, you know, because they had technologies and things like that. And then they all mysteriously disappeared one day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But you can see like
maybe they were aliens.
Yeah, in like museums,
Right?
sometimes they'll have Etruscan art, and they'll have, you know, like they have airplanes, like people in like airplanes that are made out of gold and like different things. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, that's weird, right?
I mean, it's weird to think that something that advanced existed back then.
I mean, somebody's in a golden airplane and you're looking at it by like markings on some wall that was forgotten about for the last 3,000 years. Yeah. That's a trip, dude. Yeah. That is something, man. You know what I mean? You've been all over Europe?
Yeah. So actually, right before I moved to Las Vegas, I took 2 months off, and my parents are both retired. They're living in Italy right now. So I had 2 months over there over the summer to just hang out and,
Question.
regroup. Yeah.
All right. Can we do a road show?
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
Weren't we talking about that? Right?
If we get enough money, all we need is just the ticket over there.
That's
my
what I'm
parents have
saying.
the house.
Let's do it. I say we do it. Yeah.
We did, last time I was there, we did Rome. Me and my dad went down to Rome.
You took the channel?
What tunnel?
The tunnel, the high-speed train. I heard it takes you to Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
High-speed train, for sure. Yeah. They call it the Ferro Rosa.
Again, another American thing. We call it the
fast train.
We call it the fast train. Just the most idiotic. We just say 2 words, throw them together, and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
So me and my dad went down to Rome, and then me and my mom went up to Spain because I had a friend who's living up in Valencia.
Okay.
We went to go visit her. But yeah, I've been up to Venice. I've been up in the Alps, pretty much. We went down to Sardinia in the south, Naples. Yeah, we've been pretty much all over. It's crazy. A lot of history.
You're a culture motherfucker, man. Come on now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dude,
that must feel good. Like, just let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I've been planning. We never traveled. I don't even remember going to Disneyland. We never traveled. I want to travel, and my goal is to be a different person when I come back and I see, the difference in cultures and stuff. I want to be a different human being when I get back.
You will.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's hard not to be.
Just seeing, I only know how Americans do things, stuff like that. And I've been told we're the greatest country on earth, but which is, listen, we're the leader of the free world, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, a question though, like, what is it like? Did you see like little towns that just had nothing to them and stuff like that? Did you see a lot of that?
Yeah. I mean, where my family lives, it's the nearest biggest city is Lucca, which is the walled city, and then the nearest biggest city from that is Pisa. So pretty much everywhere where my family lives is all rural countryside.
Yeah.
It's Italian countryside. You go out and there's fields and there's chickens and all sorts of stuff. And what was great about being there over the summer is they have something called sagras.
Yeah.
And what sagras are essentially, they're just big parties. So every town will have their own sagra, and it'll be like specific to the town. So there's a soup sagra, there's a bistec sagra, which is steaks and things like that.
That is
and it's just
amazing.
A big party.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, you go in and you pay, you order, and then you sit down, and then all the little kids of the town serve you. Like, they run up and they got, you give them your ticket, and then they run up and they get the tray, and they give you a setup, and then they come with the food, and you can tip them if you want. And
I'd grab one and I go, hey, Fabrizio, go get me another bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be real mean and American.
And there's always
super obnoxious.
There's always usually a band, and then they have games.
How's
and there's
the wine?
Dancing.
Is it just like
never
unreal?
Stops flowing?
Yeah.
Never stops flowing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all red, right?
Majority of the wine you'll find is red, but they have it all.
Yeah.
There's a place near my parents' house. It's called the Schifo. And what that is it's essentially, you can go there with any type of container and fill it up with wine, and then they'll just charge you however much liters the container is.
So I could bring him like one of those toy, the toys that the kids, the plastic things, just fill that baby up with wine. And
you could go with a keg.
Oh my God.
I mean, you could go with like an orange juice container.
That would make
like
a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen people go with orange juice containers and fill it up with wine, those plastic ones, and then they bring them home. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
dude,
and it's pure wine.
Dope,
and it's just,
man. What an amazing country, man. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that you see, and like you kind of like see all like the gadgets you got and your bills and you know what I mean? And you kind of like puts things in perspective, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Listen, it's fun to visit there. I'd rather be in in the actual big city and moving and seeing things, stuff like that. But to get away and see that stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's be pretty amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, from my point of view, it felt like time was moving slower.
Yeah.
There wasn't this, like in America, I feel we have this big rush to be
nowhere.
Yeah. We're in a hurry to go nowhere. Exactly. Yeah. That was my exact point, because you're either in a rush to get to your job, and then you're in a rush to get to lunch, and then you're in a rush to get home, and you're never actually anywhere in America.
I was literally going to Walmart, and I was on the overpass on Ann. Mm-hmm. And this person kind of didn't see that it turned green. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And dude, like just thinking about that, I was going to Walmart. Dude, like I could have simply drove around.
Well, dude.
Yeah, you're right, dude. You're right. You don't notice, dude. You know, you kind of like just go. Everything's go. Yeah.
Well, by contrast, though, in Italy on the roads, you better be going, because especially on the autostradas, if you don't go fast enough, those Italians will come right on your ass, and then they'll start flashing their headlights and stuff. It's crazy.
Question though, isn't the speed limit like 80? Right?
Most places, the autostradas, because they're just pure roads, but like most of the time, I think the you got to go like 45 around like towns and things like that.
Is the Italian talk? Is it exactly what they say it is? I mean, is this an American myth, or is everybody like minimum? You know what I mean? Like, is that kind of how the language sounds?
Well, okay, so in Italian, you pronounce every vowel. Right? Yeah. So there's a lot of like O's and A's, and I could see how, from an outsider's perspective, it does sound a lot of like,
yeah.
Right. But for me, I mean, growing up with it, you
didn't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But there are certain words that I really like in Italian. For example, they use this word allora, which is sort of just like, so it's
like, it's kind of like, it is what it is. You know, everybody says that now. Is that kind of what that is?
Well, it's sort of like, let's say I'm talking about something with you, and then I want to move on to a new topic. I'd finish that, and we go, allora, and then start the new topic, right? So it's sort of like
everybody would literally be saying that to me. Allora.
Allora. You know, or it's like a then, you know.
They just close my lips. It's like, allora. No, that's nuts, man. And how'd you wind up getting to Hollywood, man? He went for it. He went for the dream, right?
I did.
You had
twice, actually.
Typical move to Hollywood. Like, you were a server out there, you know what I mean? Did you meet? All right. Question. Sure. Did you meet agents and like stars and all that in the restaurants?
Yeah.
Dude, that's nuts. Yeah. And by the way, he's a really good server. We kind of like picked that up like immediately.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where you get into it, right?
So one of my favorite stories, this wasn't serving, but this was one of my first jobs in Los Angeles. It was at this bowling alley in Burbank.
Yeah.
And we were the only bowling alley in the valley, so pretty much everybody went there.
Yeah.
And one time, Martin Lawrence comes in.
Boom.
Right? And I knew exactly who it was, obviously. But unfortunately, we had a league coming in that took up the whole bowling alley, so we weren't able to sell him a lane. Right?
Dude, what?
So Martin Lawrence comes in.
I'm like, you can bowl on my back if you want. Like, let him in.
He's like, so I need to get a lane. And I'm like, sorry, we have this full league. He's like,
you had to tell Martin Lawrence no?
Yeah. He's like, what? You got all these lanes and nothing's open? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, but we're open tomorrow. You can come by tomorrow. He's like, what? And then he left. And then this is the best thing. He comes back in tomorrow, right? He comes in the next day. I was off, but one of the guys that does like maintenance around the property, he came down to get his lunch, and he got a soup from the snack bar.
Yeah.
And as he's like walking, with the soup, he spills it on Martin Lawrence.
Oh God.
And this guy, I forget his name. Let's just say it's Frank or something. He's like an old guy. He's like in his mid-60s. He didn't give a fuck. It was just like, meh, and like walks off. Didn't even offer to like, pay for his dry cleaning or anything like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really hard.
Hey, he's this old white guy, and he's like, what is he, one of them rappers? Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Yeah. Dude, what if it was like really
rapper or
hot
a baseball
soup?
Player?
Yeah. What if it was really hot soup? What if he like burned his arm like really bad?
It'd been ridiculous.
Yeah. Martin Lawrence, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love him too. Man.
Oh, dude.
Life is like one of my favorite movies.
Martin for me. Yeah. That show
so good
was the best.
Dude, I always remember the boxing one. I think he fought Mike Tyson or right. Mm-hmm. And he gets beat and his face came in. I remember I was laughing sorry, but he was so good, man. His stand-up is nuts too.
Yeah.
He's a talented dude, man. That's the only celebrity that came through the bowling alley though?
Oh no, there was tons.
Like people, like that was the only one in the valley. So people were heading out there.
Yeah. I mean, we had Tom Cruise was a regular. He would actually buy out the whole place.
Of course.
Just for him and his family to play for like an hour.
When you say his family, you mean like 900 Scientologists.
Exactly.
Right? Kind of with like white shirts and black pants.
Eric Estrada was in there.
Hey.
Yeah, Ponch.
Yeah, right?
He was cool because he was cool. David Koechner. I don't know if you know him, but he was in Talladega Nights. He was or actually, you'd probably know him from Anchorman. He was the sports guy.
Oh, I like that dude.
Yeah.
He was doing this.
Yeah, David's
he's funny, man.
So he comes in and he's like, all right, we're here to do some bowling.
Of course he said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I look at him and I go, well, you can do that here.
Yeah.
And he just slams his credit card on the desk.
And you're like, I need a signature. He's like, not now. I'm with my family.
Yeah.
You're like, for the credit card.
For the credit card, yeah.
There you go, dickhead. I left myself a tip.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Shia LaBeouf came in one time.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
He came in, he had this like big old like bushy beard.
It was around that time?
Yeah. So
okay.
It was
Maniac time?
It was Maniac
okay,
time.
Yeah.
No, it was right around, I think, the second Transformers.
Oh,
so,
no, he was still good then.
Yeah, so he was still good then. And run to the busser. One of the porters at the bowling alley was like, "Oh, put on What I've Done." You know, the song from the trailer. It's like, he's not gonna care.
He doesn't care. And then you know what's gonna happen? Somebody's going, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
It's in the
Crazy.
movie. Yeah.
It's in the movie.
It's in the movie. You know what? You know why I like Shia LaBeouf? Because I did not believe for 1 second that dude was going to be talented after Even Stevens, and he proved me so wrong.
I know.
That dude came out and did great movies.
Yeah.
Great movies, and he was good in them, and he gives a shit about his roles. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
dude
he's
was
great.
awesome, man.
He's great.
He was awesome.
But yeah, Los Angeles was fun. I
What
did
about
have
crime? Now, hold on. We got to get to the nitty gritty. Was it a shithole when you were living there?
Well, okay, so
It's a shithole now.
It's a shithole now.
I just went back last year. It was horrible.
Yeah. So it's a shithole now. I was fortunate enough to stay in the better parts of Los Angeles in like Burbank.
Like you knew where to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I moved to Burbank originally, which is like a suburb.
Yeah.
You know, that's where, Warner Brothers is and all, the rich people live in Burbank. And then I moved over into Sherman Oaks, which is also another really rich neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of, although in Sherman Oaks since it's so close to Van Nuys.
Is Van Nuys a shithole?
Van Nuys that's where they shoot all the porns. Is in Van Nuys.
Yeah, that's the valley.
That's the valley.
It, yeah.
So that's the valley that you hear about in porn is Van Nuys. And
so basically, when you're driving by some like empty house, you're like, probably shooting a porno.
We're probably shooting porn in there. Yeah.
Probably shooting a porno in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Man.
And then all the porn stars would live in the Archstone in Studio City.
Why? Because it's so close to like where they're at.
No, it was just a very nice apartment complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where. That's where I met Drake Bell. Do you know from Drake and Josh? Yeah. So Drake Bell was great because he's a huge stoner, and I've met him now 3 times, and I don't think he ever remembers. Because one time we were walking through the Archstone and he's there and he's got his dog and he's walking and we're like, oh, Drake, hey, how's it, or Josh, how's it going? And he's like, oh, hey, I'm Josh.
Oh,
and
no.
And he like puts his hand out. I was like, hey, I'm Josh. And we're like, yeah, I know. Not only do I know you, but we've met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have said.
And he's got this glazed look. He's just like so high all the time. Yeah.
Is he the big one or the smaller one?
He was the bigger, fatter one that then slimmed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Bell. He
kind of has like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still acting, actually. Yeah. He's on a new show.
Did you ever see Mean River with him?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's a fucking good movie.
All right.
But the smaller one groomed some chick.
Yep. Yeah. So he got in trouble for texting.
You didn't meet him then, though, right?
I didn't meet. Well, no, but actually, I did sort of because
he was
I
like
did
in the room.
No. I worked on a Drake and Josh TV movie.
Oh, boom!
Yeah, so I worked on a Drake and Josh TV movie where I did background, and they were both on set. I didn't meet Drake, but he was there. So I actually, now I thought about it. Yeah, I kind of met both of them, but for sure, Josh.
Did you look at like 4 12-year-old girls and go, "I'd get out of here if I was you"? And then like start setting up the lights.
This is years before all
I
that.
know they were kids,
this is years before all that. But yeah. I mean,
I don't know why I could call these things. That guy's gonna be a pederast when he gets older.
My thing is like, why do it over text message where it's recorded? You know,
man. I think these stars, when they think that they could, I'm telling you, they get told yes especially the child ones. They get told yes so
all the
much
time. All
that
the time.
they're like, what do you mean? It's just murder. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they know. Like Danny Bonaducci, he's like a real one, dude. Like, he's the only one that like was like he's like, I feel like, dude, although he went through all his crazy stuff, I feel like he's like on the level. He's a cool guy. You know what I mean?
He made it out.
Yeah, he made it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't, man. Like the Coreys, dude, I've never seen a more broken person in my life than Corey Feldman, honestly.
yeah.
And I remember that dude was a rock star when I was a kid, dude. I'm talking Lost Boys,
yeah, Goonies,
The Burbs. He was a rock star, dude. You know what I mean? Also, Lean on Me, which is like a really good one too. Yeah, 7 Cents Burn. It's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, man, it was a trip, dude. But yeah, I'll tell you what, man, we're gonna be shooting skits. Pisani writes too, so we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. So like, keep that in there. We're like, we're building the family here, and I think that I'm being real, man. We brought people on before. We did this. I got a good feeling about you.
Well,
I think
you.
you know what you're doing. Yeah. You have good like chemistry. You charisma. You could talk. Like, did you have to tell him to pull up the microphone once?
Nope.
Come on, man.
There it
on
is.
that shit. Right on. Right on.
That's the number one problem.
Well, he's a he like focuses on that stuff.
Yeah.
And for everybody's like, it's right. How many times?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
And they like move the windscreen. Oh my God. Remember True Romance when he's like, who is he, dick? And he's like, you want me to suck his dick? Oh my goodness, man. But that's it, man. Right on. Right, we're doing this, baby.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I'm super stoked to be a part of this and can't wait to see what we build and get going.
You know what? Like, that's like, now that we are working and we have like, able to like put things into it, hardware and skits and kind of extending the show. Like we want to build this like a network, right? Like we want to build this into like something. Yeah, exactly.
You come here for content.
And we have content. And we have content. Listen, you could call me a cunt.
No, I can't. No, I can't.
Or, yeah, oh, that's good, man. That's good.
All right, Billy. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Murdered it,
guys.
man.
I'll see you next time. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.